everybody, Whitney Magnuson here with a tropical inspired card using a brand new stamp set called Time to Refresh by Gracie L Design. So for the papers we're going to be using today, I'm using an A2 craft card base, a key lime piece of cardstock which matches the ink we're going to be using, a piece of Canson watercolor XL paper that I ran through my die cutting machine, and some strips for our sentiment. We're going to start off by putting our watercolor paper inside of the misti and then positioning the first stamp, which is this really pretty hibiscus, kind of in the middle on the side. And since I'm going to do some watercolor techniques, I'm going to use VersaFine Clair Nocturne. And I'm just going to stamp that on the watercolor paper. I really love this ink for stamping on watercolor paper because it just helps to get that really good impression on the kind of textured paper. So moving on to our next stamped image, we're going to be using the same stamp, the hibiscus, but we're just going to put it on the corner, and I'm being careful not to overlap the two right now. Now for our final floral, we're going to have to make some masks. So I'm using Gina K Design's Masking Magic. I went ahead and I stamped it on the Masking Magic, fussy cut it, and now we're going to be able to stick those masks over the top of our stamped florals so we can go ahead and kind of have an overlapping third floral on that bottom corner. This Masking Magic is really awesome. It's reusable. It's kind of the texture of a sticky note. So we're just going to go ahead, set those aside, and we're going to do our watercoloring. So I have an acrylic block that I'm just going to spray some water on, a small paintbrush, and then I'm using a pink, a darker pink, and an orange. They're Arteza Real Brush markers. They're similar to Zigs. So I'm just starting off by adding a wash of water. Then I'm taking my lighter pink and I'm just going to fill in the entire hibiscus with this lighter pink. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're going to blend it all out with some water on our paintbrush. Now I'm going to go in with a little bit of the darker pink and I'm adding some shadowing. So just in the very center, it's going to be that darker pink. And now just to add even more of a contrast, I'm taking an orange and I'm going to put that in the very center. And then just to kind of blend out the harsh edges, I'm using water. And I use the same method for all of the florals. So now after my watercolor has dried, I'm going to take the masks and put them back over the florals. Now we can go ahead and add some stamped palm leaves. And what's cool about the masking technique is that all the stamping is essentially on one paper layer. But when you use masking and different stamps, you can kind of achieve a layered look where things look like some are in the front and some are in behind. So we're going to start off with key lime. I thought this was a perfect tropical green color, and it's Gina K Design's ink. And I'm just putting it in the center to kind of fill in behind those florals, so it kind of looks like there's palm back behind there. I'm going to go in with that same color and add some on the corner. And now we're going to kind of switch up our color. I'm going to be using Lucky Clover, which is another Gina K Designs green, and I'm just going to add a few sprigs of the Lucky Clover so we kind of have some differing greens happening. So if in doubt, I always say add splatters. I love adding splatters. So this is Sweet Mango ink and I'm just smooshing it on an acrylic block. I'm going to add a little bit of water and then take my paintbrush and add some splatters to mainly the white space of our card. So now we're going to go ahead and stamp the sentiment. I am using a sentiment from the same stamp set. I'm really feeling like summer even though it's snowing yesterday, and so this one says Hello Summer, and I'm really excited to be able to send this to somebody when we actually have summer weather. So you can go ahead and mat this on black or a coordinating key lime cardstock. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to do black, and then I'm just going to adhere that flat down over the bottom edge of our card there. Now for card assembly, I'm going to be matting that on key lime cardstock, and then we're going to rough up the edges a little bit. This is just a little distress tool I have. You can use a scissors if you want. And we're going to adhere to our card base. Now final touches are just adding some sequins, and there you have it, a really fun tropical inspired card. I hope that you love this tutorial and this new stamp set. Thanks so much for watching.